EA has announced that the 2026 Formula 1 World Championship is not going to receive its very own game. Instead, F1 25 is going to carry on as the official Grand Prix racing title, set to include the new cars through DLC next year. As such, 2026 is going to be the first championship in almost 2 decades without its own standalone release. And where the quality of F1's future rule set is still up for furious debate, we do know that the last games we lost count amongst some of the most painful. Before we dive into 2 of my favorite Formula 1 seasons, let's cast our mind back to the year 2006. Huge changes were bound to happen within Bernie's buzzing Grand Prix circus. Michael Schumacher had just announced his retirement from the sport, leaving a gap for the pre-meme post-McLaren Kimi Räikkönen to have a nibble at his spot and also have other things.
Yeah, I was having a shit.
Okay, thanks for that.
Hotshot Felipe Massa had proven to be a worthwhile frontrunner and stayed on board for 2007, having just won his home race at Interlagos. Furthermore, Renault, the créateur d'automobile, was on top of the world with a stunning livery, a questionable connoisseur of female services, and a young Spaniard who'd just become the youngest back-to-back world champion in Formula 1 history at the time, that is. His upcoming employer, McLaren Mercedes, were all over the place, losing Räikkönen, firing fiery Juan Pablo Montoya, and signing a rookie from Stevenage for 2007. And if you think that's all the drama that occurred pre-07, we've seen nothing yet. Michelin was about to leave Formula 1, ending the age of intense tire wars and introducing Bridgestone as the sole supplier of renowned Grand Prix rubber. Tobacco sponsorship was to head out the door as well, leaving Renault, Honda, and Ferrari with quite a few questions to sort out. So, if nothing else, 2007 was going to be the start of a new era for Formula 1. How was this thrilling championship, this new chapter in Grand Prix racing, going to debut on a new generation of high-definition consoles? Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo had just introduced the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Nintendo Wii. I know the Wii wasn't a high-definition console, but, you know, same ballpark. Well, there wasn't going to be a game for 2 of the 3. Ever since 2003, Sony had held all the cards in terms of officially licensed Formula 1 video games. As such, only their PlayStation 3 was to see an HD release. However, Formula 1 Championship Edition, released close to the start of the 07 season, was nothing but an enhanced port of the 2006 game. Not a bad title for sure, a wonderful tech demo for the console, yet not what hardcore fans would have hoped for. In fairness, Sony even utilized Formula 1 in one of its infamously fake tech demos back at E3 2005. TLDR, Sony had the exclusive Formula 1 license, and they seemed to be pretty proud of it. For now. As the season rolled on, it emerged that 4 drivers were fighting for the crown of Grand Prix racing: Alonso, Räikkönen, Massa, and that rousing rookie from Stevenage. Wouldn't it be incredible to recreate this intense drama on your PlayStation? Surely there's gotta be an announcement soon, right? 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 As the season developed, so did the rumors regarding F1 07. No major announcements had been made at E3, nor had there been any innuendo as to what fans could expect from Studio Liverpool. Their latest entry was amongst the most beautiful on modern systems and demonstrated the sheer power and potential of Sony's next-generation console. Then again, there were rumors that Polyphony might take over the license from 2007 onwards. For context, this this is the era during which we would encounter countless delays and delays and delays for Gran Turismo 5. 2007 is also noteworthy for being the first time ever that Grand Prix racing had been broadcast in 16:9 widescreen, a fitting format for technologies such as high-definition gaming, I suppose. Yet, I believe you can probably take a guess as to where this story is headed. Concerning rumors first started to pop up in August 2007, while McLaren was at war with itself, managing 2 championship contenders in a spy scandal at the same time. The video game future of Formula 1 was in serious doubt. When Sony first acquired their exclusive license in 2003, they'd signed a deal that was to last for 4 years. When the time came to renegotiate with FOM, or in particular with Bernhard James Eccleston, there was no more middle ground to be found, no further licensing deals to be signed, no more Formula 1 games from Studio Liverpool. It seems, from what we can gather, that GameSpot UK were some of the first outlets to confirm this, though compared to nowadays, there was no big press release or anything in that vein announcing, "We're not making Formula 1 games anymore, bye." Within all the noise of F1's V8 era, the sudden departure of Sony seemed but a whisper, no pomp and circumstance found, and the relationship seems to have fallen through quite early in 2007 as well, seeing as one story in particular might have persuaded Sony to rethink their departure, irrespective of the licensing costs.
Lewis Hamilton wins! Surely the first of many.
Lewis Hamilton's rise to the top dominated the British headlines throughout the year, where Germany had lost their Grand Prix icon at the whims of Ferrari's management. Great Britain had finally found the heir to the throne of Hill, Hunt, Mansell, or Clark. A new sporting hero had been found, thus a new opportunity for quite a few companies to center themselves at this rookie's sensational season. This means that even when times get tough and championships get lost in China, the money's still rolling in thanks to sponsors such as, well,
EA Sports. It's in the game.
How fitting that Electronic Arts was rumored to take over from Sony for upcoming Formula 1 racing games. They had been involved from 1999 right up until 2003, releasing PC games, console ports, and a management sim. So while fans were still awaiting official news in the midst of a title fight that went down to the wire, 2008 looked like a newsworthy year for Formula 1 and its racing game lineage. In theory, 2008 should have been a linear continuation of the Ferrari versus McLaren duel. They dominated 2007 as only their drivers managed to win races. BMW had come on strong and Renault were still within the outskirts of the upper class, yet it was all about red versus silver, Maranello versus Woking. Nonetheless, as Mary Walker used to say, anything can happen in Grand Prix racing, and it usually does. 7 different winners, 4 drivers contending for the title throughout, 9 teams on the podium, the very first night race in F1 history, and that's just the on-track stuff. Drama was to reign supreme once more as Max Mosley was almost ousted from his role as FIA president. Lewis Hamilton's title bid came under fire when FIA stewards cost him a win at Belgium, and who can forget Crashgate, the conspiracy that led Nelson Piquet to crash on purpose at Singapore, triggering a safety car that would benefit his teammate Fernando Alonso. As if this wouldn't have made for a script worthy of Hollywood praise, F1 2008 was to close out with an almighty finish at the last corner of the last lap of the last race. And there is not a single video game about it. Well, at least not officially. While Electronic Arts had been rumored as F1's newest partner, there was no announcement pre-season. In fact, right in the middle of Max Mosley's mildly embarrassing tabloid saga, it transpired that Sony and F1 were definitely not going to continue their partnership, and a 2007 game therefore was off the cards. And as we'd already kickstarted the 2008 championship, a game depicting this incredible theater of open-wheel racing had become similarly unlikely. It would take another few weeks for official confirmation as to where the sport's virtual adventures were headed. Yes, Codemasters were known for some of the best racing games in the business. Both their Rally projects and their Toga series managed to impress all across the globe. Then again, such success wasn't to guarantee a satisfied hardcore fan base. To quote Bleacher Report, let's examine why this news is indeed so troubling. Codemasters games, though popular and generally well received, are not very realistic portrayals of race driving. Most notable are the Race Driver and Colin McRae series. The latest is CMR Dirt, which shares its engine with the upcoming Race Driver Grid and the new F1 project. Neither of these games provide a good racing experience. The handling is terrible, and after having tried the Grid demo today, I am very worried about what they may try to pass off as an F1 racer. So, to imply that there was only hype would be false. In fact, this period, as frustrating as it must have been for console gamers, proved to be a thrilling ground for GP sim racers on PC. We're talking about the era of F1 Challenge, a platform for many modding projects in the 2000s, including the 2007 and 2008 championships. Grand Prix 4 was to see its fair share of cars and tracks from those two seasons, featuring some of the most authentic single-player racing ever seen on home computers. Both are classics of their time and have endured with loyal fans to this very day. One game we should not forget about on our journey through time is rFactor 1. It offered legendary F1 experiences thanks to the sheer dedication of teams like MMG, CTTP, or WCP. It gave desperate Grand Prix racing fans a platform to express themselves and race the V8 wonders of this world, all without the oversight of Formula 1 management, if only the AI in-game wasn't an utter mess. Yet, just like many other Formula 1 World Championships, modern simulators have also taken on both seasons in recent years. Tobias Freitag, aka Geki, led what is known as F107, a total conversion of Codemasters F1 2020. The studio's introduction of classic cars a few games earlier allowed for people like Geki to truly transform the release into a fully fledged recreation of the 2007 season. As impressive as this mod happens to be, it's not without flaws, and I'm not just referring to loads of bugs that will most likely never be fixed. F1 2020 was never built with mid-2000s racing in mind. There is no refueling in-game, so a key factor of that generation is lost in translation. Also, we should keep in mind that only 3 different chassis were available for Geki to work with. This isn't to diminish the work him and his team put into F107. Assetto Corsa features an incredibly detailed adaptation, only hindered by the all-too-familiar weaknesses of Kuno's inaugural project. Visually, it's incredibly impressive, nailing the fine details of some ridiculously complex Formula 1 cars. You can find the 2008 season over on our website. And speaking of our website, you
can become a premium member on our website, overtake.gg.
Premium members enjoy extra benefits such as an ad-free browsing experience, special community deals, discounts, and Overtake Turbo, which provides setups, coaching, and 1 free esports setup per month.
And if you love unboxing sim racing gear just as we do, there's a premium member giveaway every month. Another cool feature are community reviews, so you can have a chance to contribute and share your opinion on not yet released hardware or games.
Join as a premium member on overtake.gg for just €1 a month.
I think I'm getting better at this. It's a real shame we never got to experience a fully fledged game on either 2007 or 2008. F1 Championship Edition is still a beloved Grand Prix game, though not without its flaws. Maybe with a bit more time and polish, Studio Liverpool could have tweaked the immensely aggressive AI or work on the questionable damage model. The handling, as well as many of its other features, design choices, and visual fidelity were already up to snuff and arguably outclassed even later F1 games developed by Codemasters. As for Electronic Arts, God knows who would have been hired to develop a Formula 1 game under their umbrella. EA Tiberian was busy working on their NASCAR series, while Image Space Incorporated had long left the stable to get rFactor 1 off the ground. If anything, you've got to wonder whether capturing the magic of 07 and 08 was even possible. These championships were built around drama on and especially off the circuit. Courtroom fights between manufacturers underpinned by questionable stewards' decisions, driven by a cast of characters almost unfathomable in the corporate Grand Prix landscape of 2025. For all the aero bits, the stifled wheel-to-wheel racing, and the stellar soundtrack, it's this piece of the puzzle that might have stuck out the most. But what do you think? Who should have developed F107 or F108? Let us know in the comments below. Until then, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, we'd highly appreciate it if you like and subscribe, hit the bell, and as always, keep racing. Bye bye!